Listen, I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about tonight. Really excited about our call. And whoever thought I would be excited about fiber? I sound like I'm 105. Y'all get your fiber in. We gotta get that fiber in. Get your raisin bran and get your bran cereal. What other brand cereal they got? They got all the brand cereal. Well, it's hard to eat. I'll tell you what I love, and I can't eat it because it's just too high a calorie. But I love not raisin bran. I love shoot, what is it called? Let me go grab it. Hold on, I'll show you. You guys are gonna laugh. My grandma used to eat it for fiber when she was old. And I started eating it. I'm like, I really like it. Grape nuts. In England, you don't have grape nuts, I'm sure. Well, let me tell you, these suckers will break your teeth. You gotta let them soak in some milk or something, in some almond milk or something, because they're gonna break your teeth. And they don't taste great unless they have like a cup of sugar. So, and so with a cup of sugar, just a half a cup of these has 200 calories, 47 grams of carbs. Oh my gosh, crazy. And only 7 fibers. So it's not as great as it sounds. So, but we're going to talk about fiber tonight. And I'm actually so excited because here's why. I keep telling you guys how important it is. And some of you still don't listen to me. You don't think it's that important. And I want to share with you some things that I think are fixing to change your tune. So I tell you guys all the time, if I say chia seed one more time, one of y'all is probably just gonna pop me right in the teeth. You hear chia seed one more time. And yes, it has a lot of calories, but it's got a lot of fiber and it's zero net carbs. Well, fiber isn't just about going poo, ladies. It's not. It's just a byproduct, right? It's a byproduct of fiber. But here's the thing. I made myself some notes and I'm going to use them tonight so I can stay on track because I feel like I kind of get all over the place. And I want you guys to hear these important points that I think are really going to help you want to get your fiber in. All right, so let me get here. Hold on one second. All right. Fiber. Did you guys know that fiber, and I say this, I've said this before, helps with your hormones? How many of you are dealing with hormone fluctuations right now or have? Holy guacamole. I take progesterone and estrogen and testosterone, and I still deal with hormone irregulations like up and down and all over the place because I take pellets. And so my hormones will get better and then they'll get worse. And then they'll get better and they'll get worse. It's not optimal, really. And so fiber actually helps with that. And you guys know that estrogen, when it's not imbalanced hormonally, that it causes not only weight gain, listen to this, weight gain. That's why when we go into perimenopause and into menopause, we're like, what in the world is going on? Why am I now magically just gaining all this weight? And hormones will do that. Estrogen will do that. It'll throw, if one hormone level is off, it throws off our whole balance. And so that will cause us weight gain. Okay. Estrogen levels affect, listen to this, your metabolism. We talk about my metabolism feels like it's slow. I don't know. It has to be my metabolism. And you're right, girl, because estrogen is jacking up your metabolism. It is. It's not making it better. Whenever your hormone levels are off, you got to think about these things. Your estrogen levels can lead to weight gain if they're off. Okay. Also, it shifts where you gain your weight. How many of you have seen a shift in your past? Oh my gosh. Where do you gain it? Someone speak up. Where do you gain it? Where do you gain fat at now?
All around your midsection corset.
Yes, that's what Tony said. Nicola, what were you going to say?
Sorry, hips and my middle section as well. Yeah. Band.
Me too. So I have those pictures of me and I said, what is this? Why is this all around my back? What is all this way stuff around my waist I never had before? And it shifts how your body stores fat and where it stores fat. And that is scary. So I'm talking about estrogen, but I want you to hear me about fiber. Okay. So when estrogen is off, you store fat, especially around the midsection of your body. It influences your appetite. Estrogen does. Isn't that crazy? And fat storage. It tells your body whether to store fat or to burn it. So that becomes a problem when estrogen is off, right? So when we're going through the changes of life, as my grandmother would have said, through menopause and perimenopause, whenever our estrogen is off, we want to focus on things to help balance that out. Now we can go get things like HRT, hormone replacement therapy. But if your base, let's say like this, if you have a gunshot and you put a Band-Aid on it, that's what HRT can be, a Band-Aid. If everything underneath is just jacked up, HRT, like I've had it for about 15 years, it doesn't work well. It's all, your hormones are still all over the place. And doctors have a very hard time regulating your hormones. And I thought that that was normal. I thought, well, every 3 months I have to go and she has to adjust my dosage and she's always checking my blood levels and all of that. And guess what? That is true. It was jacked up. But the foundation of that was my diet. See, my diet was off. And so because of that, my hormones were even hard to regulate with medicine. Some crucial things about my diet was very low fiber because I was on keto. And I didn't know that fiber was important. And I just ate low carb because I thought it's the carbs that's good in me. It's got to be the carbs. Everybody says the carbs. But it wasn't. It was the unhealthy carbs. Because fiber most times has carbs. But it's what we have to help regulate our estrogen levels and other hormonal balances in our body. Fiber does that. Can you believe that? So let me get back to my notes. Fiber also helps with hunger regulation. So it helps fill your tummy up. People love the weight loss shot. And I want to tell you what the weight loss shot does. It makes your body not break down the food in your stomach. It just sits there. It is not broken down. And that's why when women take Ozempic and the weight loss shot, whatever one they choose, their digestion is so slow that they're full all the time. They could eat 800 calories and they're like, I don't know why, I just can't eat. I had one lady come on as a client. She said, every time I eat protein, I just want to throw up. That's not good. But listen, that's what the shot does. But listen what fiber does. Fiber slows down your digestion. Fiber is a different kind of slowing down of your digestion than Ozempic, the weight loss shot. Ozempic can be unhealthy in a lot of ways. Fiber is not. So if you want to slow down the absorption of your food and mimic what these stupid drugs can do, or sometimes they're good. Drugs are good sometimes, right? If we need them. We can, though, transform our bodies by using food as our medicine. Food. It's much healthier. And there are lots of other reasons why fiber is important. And I want to share that with you. So fiber keeps our stomach from emptying quickly. Isn't that crazy? So it keeps us more full longer. Fiber binds to estrogen in the intestines. It aids in excess estrogen excretion, which also helps balance our hormones. So our body knows when we have too much estrogen. And I'll tell you what, mine is baseline. Sometimes I have little to no estrogen. But see, it all has to come into play together. All these hormones, progesterone and estrogen, work together. And if one is off, the other's off. And it just wreaks havoc. But fiber helps with that. Okay? So we've got to get that fiber in. I want you to hear more. The gut connection. The gut. How many of you guys have heard about our gut or our gut microbiome? You know what that is? Well, let me just put it in layman's terms. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I've just done somebody who's done a whole lot of studying. All right. That's just me. I'm a geek, a nerd. I never thought I would be this kind of person, but I am. My brother was always this person. I was the one who basically just got by in school. And now I'm a nerd. But I love it. And so anyways, the gut is basically these little wonderful bacteria in your body that are down here in your gut. And they are about 75% of what is our immune system. And they feed off of fiber. The American diet is very, very low in fiber. We take fiber out and then we say added fiber. We're going to put it back in. It's not the same fiber. Then it's just this processed stuff. And we're feeding it to these little gut bacteria that are going, what is this? It doesn't have everything in it I need because it's a filler. And our little immune system is going, help. And all these good little gut bacteria that are supposed to protect us from COVID and cancer and all of the stuff are dying off. And we're getting things like inflammation and diseases and all these things because we aren't feeding our immune system. That's scary. And we wonder why in America we are so sick. One of the big reasons is, and they are studying fiber right now, and we are learning more and more and more about fiber and how it actually helps us live a healthy, long life. We have found that in countries overseas and in places, even in America, in small places, that there are people who live extraordinary long lives. We're talking 100 years or more. Populations where it is normal to live to 100. You know what they're finding in those populations? That these people are eating high fiber foods. Isn't that crazy? They're eating legumes, beans, and especially black beans. They're eating things like purple sweet potatoes. They're eating lots of fibrous vegetables. Okay. So this helps our immune system, helps our bodies be strong and healthy. But not only that, those good gut bacteria, whenever the balance of those is off in our body, it doesn't just affect our immune system, it leads to obesity. Those little gut bacteria have so much of a play in our body that science doesn't even understand it exactly. And there are teams of scientists all around the world studying what these little bacteria mean. And when these bacteria are messed up, they can even affect us in ways like depression and even go as far as suicide because they mess with our mind. It throws the way we think off. Isn't that crazy? They call it the gut-brain connection. So these little bacteria are important, and we have to feed those babies, not just for weight loss and not just for, to help balance our hormones, but for our immune system and to live long lives. Fiber, you know, many of us say, well, I need to take this prebiotic, and we're over here buying supplements. I need a prebiotic for my probiotics. Your probiotics are basically the good gut bacteria that we're putting back in there that have died. And we're putting them in there. We're giving our body prebiotics, but we're not giving it fiber. So then they're dying off. Yikes. So if you're taking probiotics, you better make sure that you're getting the prebiotic. What is a prebiotic? You don't have to buy it in a supplement jar, ladies. It's fiber. A prebiotic is simply fiber. Okay, just take it. You get a lot better fiber source inside of food than you do in a pill. Some of you ladies ask me, well, can I just take a pill, a fiber supplement? You can, but it's not the same. It's not at all the same. A fiber supplement is mostly, unless the psyllium husk is going to help you go poo, and that's it. It's only going to do one task. It's going to help you go poo. But here's what fiber does. When you eat real fiber with your food, it regulates your blood sugar levels. Your blood sugar levels need to be regulated when you eat food. And that's why every single meal that you eat should have fiber in that meal. I was getting most of my fiber, and I still do, for breakfast. But my goal has become that when I eat, I make sure that I'm not only getting my protein to meet my protein goals, but I am getting my fiber in every meal. Because that fiber is important, not just in the morning, but throughout our day, so that our blood sugar levels remain stabilized and we aren't storing glucose, which means building fat cells, not building fat cells, but filling fat cells with glucose. And we don't want them suckers full of glucose. We want that sugar to be used, that glucose to be used as energy. Fiber allows us to do that because it keeps that blood sugar level at an even pace. Basically, it's like pouring, instead of dumping this box out into my blood system, fiber, I'm just trying to tell you what fiber does. Fiber slows it down to where it pours at a slower rate, where we can use it. But when it dumps all out like this, our body says, what do I do with this? You know what it does? It says, to save your life, I'm going to go dump it in some fat cells, and we're going to fill some fat cells up. Did you know that fat cells are basically storage compartments? They are. They're storage compartments for things like unused fuel, like glucose. Whereas if we would have ate some fiber, we wouldn't have had to store it all in some fat cells. Pretty cool. All right. So, all right, let's keep going. So gut, it has to do with the gut bacteria, the gut microbiome. Fiber, it helps with all of that stuff, helps us have a diverse gut microbiome. We don't want just one kind of bacteria in there. That's why when you see probiotics, it says 40,000 different strains and what kind of strains of bacteria it's got in it, because more is better. When we have some healthy gut bacteria, we want all kinds in there because they all play a role. We want a really diverse group of gut bacteria in there. And fiber helps us have that. Now, if we were to take just psyllium husk and not real food fiber, like the fiber that you find in chia seed, blackberries, raspberries, Brussels sprouts, all of that stuff, you know, we've got to have the diverse foods to have the diverse fiber to feed all the diverse gut bacteria. So just get it through your food. It's really important. I'm going to go into a few more things, and I got to go. Blood sugar regulation. I already said that. It slows down glucose absorption. I cannot say it to save my life today. So here is the thing I want you to see. Some of you say, I have insulin resistance. I think I might. I'm having a really hard time losing weight. What causes insulin resistance? Does anybody know?
Is it uncontrolled blood sugar levels?
Exactly. Insulin resistance. Insulin is blood sugar levels. When your body gets a lot of sugar spikes, it cannot deal with carbohydrates correctly any longer. And it fills up your fat cells basically with glucose. And then that glucose is just sitting in those storage little containers in your body. And here's the bad thing, that the more of them you have in containers, when you eat more sugar, your body doesn't have any place to put it at some point. And that's why we get things like type 2 diabetes, because our body doesn't have any place to put it. Our stores of our fat are full, and it has to dump it back into our bloodstream. And it's poison to us, and it starts killing us. We have to take care of this. And it isn't just about eating less sugar and less carbs. It's about having fiber. It really is about fiber. A ketogenic diet is good in a lot of ways because we're limiting carbs. See, insulin resistance is a huge deal because it not only means that you cannot process insulin well, which comes from carbohydrates and other foods, but mostly carbohydrates. But it means this, that you cannot lose weight hardly at all. When you have insulin resistance, you're carrying around these fat cells that say, hey, they cause this chain reaction in your body. And it makes things worse and worse and worse with insulin, and you cannot let go of the fat. Your body is basically saying, I have enough glucose in my body. You cannot give me more. See, dumping it out of those fat cells mean it reintroduces it to your body. It's hidden in those fat cells, and it reintroduces it when we go to lose weight. Fiber is so important, ladies, in this diet, because if we're losing weight, we are emptying fat cells. We need to have some fiber. So I hope you hear my heart tonight, because it not only will help you lose weight and feel more full, it's going to help with your hormones, and it can even add a lot of years to your life by strengthening your immune system and doing things we don't even understand, to be really honest. Fiber plays a role in mental health, even. And so we have got to take this seriously. We really do. You know, we're learning more and more about our diet all the time. But here's the thing. The sad thing is we aren't taught about diet in school. I didn't know any of this information. I'm barely scratching the surface. I can't imagine what scientists are learning. But we need to take it serious, because it can mean life or death for us, not just weight loss. It really could. So I think that that's all I have. So to reverse insulin resistance, let me read this. So spikes in blood sugar and insulin lead to insulin resistance over time, a condition associated with weight gain and difficulty losing weight. Fiber increases insulin sensitivity, which means the body can use glucose more effectively for energy rather than storing it as fat. Okay? So it can use it rather than storing it as fat. So this is where fiber, I want you to go over to bodbabes.com. If you're having a problem getting your fiber in, go over to bodbabes.com, and there is a low glycemic index section. Low glycemic index. And that means that basically we are looking for foods that will keep your body from spiking your blood sugar insulin levels. Okay? And there are lists in there, and they're about fiber. Fiber is foods. How many calories are in the serving? How much fiber is in the serving? I want you to start looking at that. And I want you to look at the lower calorie, higher fiber versions in that PDF file. Okay. And find some of those that you like and start integrating them into your life. Right now, I'm starting to take a lot of women into a low carb diet. Low carb, high fiber, high protein. It's keto on steroids, is what I like to call it. It's basically made to reverse insulin resistance, to help you with hormone balance, and it's hard to do. It is hard for ladies to figure out, but that's what Tony and I are here for. We're going to help you figure it out if you need the help. Right, Tony? Exactly. So I'm sure, Tony, you've had a lot of women say that it's hard for them to understand how to hit their fiber, their carbs, and get their calories and all that in, correct?
Yes, it's very challenging. It's challenging for me as well. I've actually been experimenting with trying to find some high fiber, low carb meals myself so that I can help people better and give them a better balanced meal. But it's challenging, but it's doable. You can do it.
It is. It's very hard to figure out, especially when our foods have been stripped of so much fiber. And so it leaves us very little options at times to try to figure it out. And, it really is whole foods. It's those one ingredient foods like blackberries. They got one ingredient, it comes from their broccoli, Brussels sprouts. There's lots of them. Just run over and check it out in bodbabes.com. The low glycemic index part. And there's even one on fruit. It says low sugar and higher sugar fruits. And go over there and look at that, because the difference is fiber. All right. That's the difference. One has more fiber than the other one. And I want you guys to start learning about it, because it will transform your life. It will really change your life. And also, getting this information can also help your husband, your family, your friends, as you begin to prepare different meals, understanding how fiber should work in your meals and in your diet. It won't just change your health. It will change theirs too. All right. All right, ladies, I'm out of here. Anything that y'all want to say?
I just wanted to ask a quick question.
Yes.
I know you always say there's like a minimum fiber we need, right? 25 grams.
Right.
Is there a maximum we should be having?
No, they don't really say that. And you just have to be really careful with it, because I've thought the same thing. If you have insulin resistance, they want you to have higher than 25. So 25 is just like the average, okay? But when you have insulin resistance, if you have a hard time losing weight, they'll take it up to 40, 45 grams. Can you imagine trying to get that much in a day?
No.
But it helps reverse that.
Okay.
As why. But I usually start at 25. And for me personally, I'm hitting 30 to 35 a day. And so that's where chia seed, and you guys are here sick of it, but that's why it comes in with me. I'll have a good portion of my calories go to something like that. And it's just because I just really, really am wanting to be on point with my diet, and really turn I have a few pounds to lose, and it isn't just that, but it's overall health for me. And I'm just like, I want to feel the best I can feel. And I'm going to tell you, it has changed me. So I feel so much better getting that fiber in every single day.
Cool,
Okay.
thanks.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? All right. So if you have any kind of breakthroughs on recipes like Tony said, please share them with your sisters in this group, because we all need help with it. I could sit down and eat a bowl of the chia seeds with some milk on it, but all y'all ain't going to do that. And I'm not going to do it very long. In about a month, I'll be like, if I see one more chia seed, I'm going to throw up. So it's just a thing for me. That's how I do things. I'm like in this groove, and I'm going for it, going for it, and going for it. And then I'm like, if I ever see a piece of chicken again, it will be too soon. You all have a great night. Thank you so much for joining me. Good night, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.